This is a Headgum podcast.
No rap!
We can discuss, give me your truth, it never fails.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Lil Real. Welcome to another episode of Keepin' It Real with
Young Wayne.
We got a special guest in the building. This is our boy from Chicago representing this dude. I mean, look, you've been in some good-ass projects over the years. And we talk about since a kid.
Yeah.
We got our boy, actor, all-around cool nigga, Kris Lofton.
Okay, all right, clap it. Hey, we need the claps.
Bro, I appreciate it. I did get lucky in getting some cool shit. I will say that.
Hardball is one of my favorite movies of all time. One of my favorite movies. It's like one of the only other movies with Keanu Reeves actually talk.
wait.
Instead of just whooping everybody
Yeah,
else.
and John Wick, literally I read an article where he only talked like 4 times in that movie.
Oh, in this new one?
He's
I ain't
asking
seen
for
it.
minimal lines. This dude he's literally the star of a movie, maybe got the less dialogue.
He asked for it?
Yeah.
probably
I mean, it's
asked for it.
brilliant. Honestly,
Yeah.
imagine just like, all right, let's just do the action, man. And I'll say whatever in between it. Like,
He be
okay.
training like crazy, though. I be seeing all the videos on Twitter of him going crazy.
He's actually a lot more like John Wick than you think. Like, I had to do a screen test with him. Wait, hold on. Let me tell you what. Not necessarily the murder.
Yes.
Not the murder.
I mean, like, that swag to him where it's like, he just seemed like a fucking mystery. He shows up at the Fox lot. We you know what movie we was actually going to do? I can say this now. Kamal and Batista did end up doing it. The Uber movie. Stuber.
Okay. Oh, Batista. Okay.
Me and Keanu Reeves read for that first.
Oh, that's wild.
That's wild as shit. He's like, do you like the script? If you in it, motherfucker, I'm going to do whatever the fuck is you know what I mean?
He probably thought too many lines was in that motherfucker.
Is it, I'm like, all right.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So we tested together, and he literally showed up in a motorcycle. Looked like he just woke the fuck up. Like in every scene in John Wick. John Wick looked like he's so tired, but he still can do all that shit. And he like pulls up and like,
I gotta see this.
He don't even look like a safe motorcycle to have. That's this superstar. He got out. I didn't even know it was him at first. He takes the helmet off. He does this shit. And he's like, "Oh, you guys are ready?" I'm like, "Damn! What did you just pull up right to the little set?" And nobody stopped him. Like I feel like he just drove to the gate. And nobody said shit.
Nobody spoke to him.
Like I gotta show
that's Keanu.
ID. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. Keanu Reeves just walked up like, "Yo, hey, let's do it."
We guess.
Do you like the script? I'm like, but shout out to Keanu. That was so random though.
That was so great.
How was it working with him?
Yeah,
though?
I was
When I
gonna
think about
ask
it, because he was a kid. How was he?
Yeah, I was a kid. Basically, honestly, real life is what you said, bro. Like, he was still a mystery to me. At that time, The Matrix was already out, so we was hyped. You know, we badass kids from Chicago. We hyped, bro.
Yeah.
Like, nigga, teach us how you was doing all the shit. We wanted to know. We was teasing him like that, so it was super dope. But he was real cool, very much so a mystery. I remember him smoking cigarette after cigarette, chain smoking them. Like cigarette after cigarette, but just really interacting with it. We was playing catch. We was teaching him how to dance, do the Big Papa dance, all of that. Like, he was super cool, talking to our parents, doing stuff for the crew. Like, he was real life for the people type dude. Like, So everything I see now online about him, I could say even when I was a kid, well, that don't sound far off.
He's a mysterious, cool guy. He'll laugh at something like, huh, it's funny.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get out of this nigga. But you know something hard, because Hardball is what makes that movie so, like, for me personal. Like, we play in the Near West League, you know, on the West Side, like where y'all shot at St. Malachi and all that stuff. My brother did. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's where the baseball team formed. That we were. It was almost like watching. Like our story, like
y'all.
Where you from?
Is this from my little team? But it was so real. I mean, look, when G Baby died,
Still one of the most, like,
Damn.
movie deaths, tragic movie deaths. I be seeing that pop up all the time on the internet too. Like, no death hit harder for people in the hood than when G Baby died.
Yeah, G Baby died.
Yeah, shout out to Dwayne Warren, man. G Baby.
Yeah, he's from the crib, right?
Yeah, he really from the
I
crib.
be seeing y'all with him. I'm like, damn, that's him.
Yeah.
G-Baby.
When we in Chicago filming Power, I try to, like, you know, put him in the mix and have him around and shit, because I'm like, it's my goal to get him on force, bro.
Is he still acting?
Yeah, well, you know, he be having his you know, like we all do. He be having his moments and shit like that where he try to get back in it and out of it. Real life take over. You know how that go.
Yeah.
So he still is actively like looking for auditions and stuff like that. And
Michael B. Jordan wasn't in there, was he?
He definitely was.
Yeah, he was in Hardball.
He was in Hardball, right?
Yeah.
Damn.
Me and Mike the only two who have really worked since then, like at this capacity. Like, you know what I'm saying? Well, of course, he on a whole nother stratosphere than me. I ain't putting us in the same category. But by all means, Michael, no disrespect. But what I'm saying is at this level, though, like we the only ones. And the craziest thing is we had the two smallest roles. Really.
I wonder about that now. Because now my brain is like, why is it not a Hardball 2, right? Where, I guess I'm pitching this shit on here, but where, because you
One
guys
of us
are,
is the coach.
Either it's you and Mike, like y'all the coaches, and like, because you know what's interesting, the story of that little league team from Chicago that got hated on and shit.
All that one,
Won
Jackie
the Little League
Robinson?
World Series.
Yeah.
It's something interesting about doing a story kind of like that, where they actually can explain why they had to do what they had to do.
Yeah. Yep.
Because it wasn't a bunch of little leagues in the black community. So they basically just got all the kids that wanted to play baseball and put them on one team. They're like, that's cheating.
Yeah.
So what, you want them to play on their own team by themselves? Motherfucker, what? Like, so it's really interesting. I think it's a story to that. And if it comes from you guys doing it, wow.
Yeah.
And we just bring G Baby back from the dead and be like, all right, G Baby back.
G-Baby's back.
He never died. No, that's fucked
G-Baby
up. They had a
back.
whole
He
funeral.
never
They can't do
died.
that.
Nah, that'd be hard,
No,
though.
but I'm for real. Like, it might be something interesting. Wow, who owned that
Yeah, I
property?
don't know. I don't think Mike would do that. I wouldn't even really want to do it. I would do it if it was like cool, more so on the producer side. As far
why
as
you
being
wouldn't
in
Why
wanna
it.
wouldn't
do it?
you do it?
I don't know. I don't think Mike would do it, and I wouldn't do it if
What
Mike
they got to
wouldn't
do
do
with
it.
Mike? We talking about you now.
Well, who to say he wouldn't? If
I don't think he would personally.
If it's a, that's funny you say that.
Okay.
You can't do all those creeds to me. If you did them shits, and it's a solid story and an idea with Hardball.
Completely different. Apples and oranges,
So
bro.
now you got me.
Apples
Now you-
and oranges,
let
bro.
me say this. Now you
A
got me-
Hardball 2 versus a Creed franchise. Apples and
Cool.
oranges.
No, it really ain't. Storytelling is not. See, that's what I'm saying. See, look, I hear what you saying. I feel like if I call this nigga and we sat down, it's like, hey, this is why I think the story is.
Right.
Not like trying to do it exactly that way. It's like it's literally telling this story that happened to that Jackie Robinson.
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
In that aspect.
That's a different fucking story. It's just like I just want to own the property of Hardball. Like, see, now I'm gonna do the research into this.
Yeah,
shit.
he
That's
about
what I
to-
do.
he
I
about to
don't-
figure
I
this shit
don't-
out.
I don't
He said he's
bullshit.
about to figure it out.
When I want to do
Paramount.
something, I fucking do it. I'll do that shit.
It was a Paramount movie. They
Oh,
probably-
that's who they got it. And that's which is probably with Paramount shit. They fuck around like, please.
Real.
They need a Paramount Plus original.
He said, please.
Straight up.
Oh, man.
Yeah, this
I
man
know
is
shit.
crazy.
Everybody know.
This man is crazy.
Have you ever bumped into Keanu at all?
I ain't seen him since, bro.
What?
I ain't seen him since Hardball. Since
Man,
we
we all
filmed.
Keanu Reeves, man. We already said nigga don't talk to
I'm
nobody.
just trying to see is there anybody you still communicate from the movie?
I talked to like a couple of the co-stars. Like I talked to Mike Perkins. He played Kofi G Baby's brother. I talked to him and I talked to Julian and Ramon, the twins that played Jefferson Albert Tibbs. They was the fat boys on the team.
Yeah.
I talked to them from time to time on Instagram.
Okay.
And Stilo.
Oh yeah, of course.
That's really it. But I don't,
Stilo Brown.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. So that's interesting, especially starting to do something so young. When you got Hardball, was the goal what you were pursuing an acting career as a kid at the time, or was this like just kind of
Nah.
came out of nowhere?
Yeah, no, I wasn't pursuing an acting career. I was just a kid, and I really wanted to play sports. I played baseball and football and all of that. Back at the time, I was still hooping too. But I just heard something on GCI where it was like, there's some people in town looking for young black boys that know how to play baseball. And I told my mom, I'm like, well, shit.
Wow.
I'm young, I'm black, and damn it, I know how to play baseball. So take me where the radio said. I thought it was
crazy.
like a traveling baseball team, honest to God. I ain't know it was like a movie open call audition is what it was. It was at the old Evergreen Plaza.
Wow.
In the abandoned World Foot Locker. They held an open call audition for Hardball. Like 500-600 kids showed up and they picked 7. And I was one of them.
Whoa.
Wow.
Like, I didn't even know it was a damn movie audition. I just showed up.
That's usually what they do. It's usually like secretive too, when they do like those like open calls like that. You like, and they won't even tell you which. Even when you get there, you kind of know it's a movie. They won't even tell you what the fuck, who's in it, none of that shit.
Yeah, they just said it's a baseball movie about Chicago where kids are playing baseball in the projects. That's all they said.
So what if they have you doing this to Foot Locker?
they had the kids. It was chairs and stuff all out, and then you came in, you signed in. Some people had headshots and resumes at the time and stuff like that. I ain't had none of that, and some people just had regular Polaroids of them because it was open call. Nobody really was actors for real because they wanted non-actors, real Chicago kids. So people just had basic like print out from Walgreens, CVS or whatever, little pictures and shit. Was bringing them, sitting them down. They write your name on your thing and put a sticker on you with a number. And we all sat down, and then they called you in a room, and they gave you sides based off your age. They said, how old are you? And what position do you play? And then they were like, okay, you're auditioning for Tiki. You're auditioning for G-Baby. You're auditioning for this person. You're auditioning for this person based on your age and what position you played in baseball in real life. And we just sat down and waited for them to call us, and it was a cold read. I didn't know what that meant at the time, but it was a cold read. And they were just like, okay, so here, read this, but when you get it, try to act like you're not reading it. Act like you're just talking to your friends. You're on the baseball field. You're having a good time. How would you say this if this was your friend? If you were talking to your friend, how would you say this? And I was just like, yep, duh.
Well, Kris, let me ask you this too, because if you didn't want to do, after you did Hardball, is that when you was like, oh, damn, this is something I really want to do? Or was it a break?
Even still, no. It wasn't still nothing that I knew I wanted to do. Because I feel like I was still too young to truly grasp what was going on. I was only like 11. I just knew it was cool. I just knew like things seemed better than ever. Like mom was smiling. Dad was smiling. I wasn't getting my ass whooped as much. I got Jordans on, nigga. I got the new Dreamcast, all the games. Like, this shit is different. We getting a new garage. The kitchen getting remodeled. Like, nigga, whatever's going on, nigga, I like it. We eating at restaurants downtown.
First of all, I don't know if it sounds like a great story. Like, when they spent all your money now.
Oh, yeah, that part too. That part too. But we ain't gonna even.
Mama done went on a honeymoon. They've been trying to go on for the last 15 years.
Yeah, they left me in the house 14 days.
Yeah, I didn't know none of that. It just seemed like a great time, nigga. So I was just like, whatever
Hit your Dreamcast. We'll be back.
Like legit.
That was the most grownish list of shit I've ever heard. Oh man, we got to do garage, we got the kitchen remodeled, cabinets.
We did.
We went out to dinner on Friday.
Nigga, we had the sponge paint. I remember in the bathroom and the kitchen, they came in there and did the sponge paint. Nigga, we was getting new shit.
Wow. The Coogan wasn't required then, huh?
The Coogan,
the Coogan Law. It was in my money was in a trust account for the Coogan Law, right? But I got the pick. It was either we got to pick 18 or 21, and I picked 18. And then my mom's was still a trustee. So she could get the bread. I couldn't.
Oh, wow.
So by the time I turned 18, what should have been ain't what was. That's all I'm going to say.
No, I get it, man. I mean,
what should have been ain't what was. By the time I turned from 11 to 18, that was 7 years of living.
That's what I said. It's tough when, and I think one thing I like about the account, it gives parents, I think it makes parents not overdo it. Because it's sitting there, you can see it as what this is, and you have to make these real life decisions and shit. Like my son acts, and his money's just still sitting there. You know what I mean? What I try to do is pay him. I'll give his mom whatever, and then I'll basically whatever he get, match it.
Right.
And then you know what I'm saying, but it's still sitting there.
That's hard.
And which I know everybody can't do that shit, especially like the everyday fucking parents that's like taking their kids to auditions and all this other shit. But I like that it's just sitting there, and so I always try to do the balance of both doing it that way.
Yeah, yeah, man. That's definitely a vibe. It could be helpful, but it could be, everything could go left. But that was definitely, it just took a while for that shit to click for me. I just knew I wanted to keep doing it.
But when did that? When did it happen? When did you say, okay, this is really what? Because did you take a break in between?
Well, no, see, it wasn't no official breaks. It was just like the break that's not a break because I'm still very much so auditioning. Nigga just ain't booking. So it was like, to you looks like a break. To me, it just looks like 800 no's.
When did you start auditioning?
That's what I'm saying. Because if you saying you didn't know you wanted to do, you were just doing it just to be doing it?
Yeah, I was doing it because it was, like I said, I thought it was cool. And I'm like, man, this is different. And I wanted to do something that everybody wasn't doing because all my homies was rappers at the time. Like, we was in Chicago, we in the streets. And niggas is rapping or they hooping, and that was it. And I played baseball and I act. You know what I'm saying? And I just ran with that. So I'm like, I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to do it. Like, if it happened, it happened. But I ain't really focused on it because I was trying to play in the streets, too. I still wanted to play football and baseball. I still wanted to do all that. So I was still trying to be a kid. But I would leave school early, going to audition. Hope I get it. I would leave this.
Leaving high school early.
Yeah, high school and middle school. Hope I get it. Hope, And I was doing that the whole time through high school. I just wasn't really booking. It didn't click for me until I got out of high school and just real life set in. I got emancipated when I was 17. I was living in Chicago on my own. My whole family lived in Georgia. I had my own apartment. I'm paying rent. I'm working at Walgreens, going to school, finishing my senior year at Proviso West. And shit just started hitting. I'm like, bro. And then I found out I don't have what I thought I had at this age. And it's just like, I'm doing stupid shit. I'm in the streets. It hit. When the one time I had to spend a couple nights in Cook County, that's when it hit for me.
That's when it hit for anybody.
That's when I chose. When I went to 26 in Cal for them little 3 days, and this was post me being on Meet the Browns. I was in Meet the Browns already. I'd already did the Tyler Perry movie. I'm sitting in Cook County, and people is recognizing me from the damn movie, and then Meet the Browns and Hardball and this and that and all of that shit, and I'm just like, yeah, nah.
Nigga.
That's when it clicked for me. I said, you know what? You could either pretend to do this shit on TV and get paid and not have to look over your shoulders and never have to experience this in real life, or you can be this guy and like, this is what your life gonna look like. It's gonna be plenty more of this shit, so get used to it, get comfortable. And to me, that was when I made the decision. I was like, bro, you know what, nigga? Actor for 500. I don't want this shit.
You go to county for 3. It's so funny, it's so weird, because I did a 3-day stint in county just because it was while I was doing Friends of the People. I remember telling Josh, like, hey, they said I missed this court date, but my lawyer said if I had the money, they'd bail me right out, blah, 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 blah. I didn't have enough cash because the judge raised the money based off who I am.
Wow.
Literally said to me, like, I gotta hurt your pockets to teach you a lesson. Literally said that shit. Like, nigga, you ain't gonna cover the mic, you just gonna say it?
Out loud.
I can hear you.
And it was more than what I brought with me to get to him to give somebody to bail me out. So I had to stay there for like 3 days. I remember telling Josh, like, hey, man, if you don't hear from me, and I was jokingly saying that. 3 days on 26 in California. And this is why, a Comic View episode of me came on in that motherfucker.
In the jail.
Yeah,
in the jail, fam. Literally felt like everybody in there did like this.
Yeah, bro. I swear to God, bro.
I was there. Luckily, one of my homies was in there, man. Like one of my good. We was all like, "Where does this nigga go?" Like, oh, you been in here the whole time.
He was looking for.
But man, he had to like have people like walk me to the bathroom and all types of shit. Just so motherfucker
like
wouldn't. It was
I never
crazy.
felt more uncomfortable for having on a pair of shoes in my life. That was the day I found out that jail shoes don't go higher than a size 12. They don't go to size 13 in jail shoes. So I'm the only one at 26 at Cal. Niggas is recognizing me from TV and all looking at my feet because I got on, I'll never forget, I had on them Sean Kemp kamikazes, the black and red ones. Kamikazes, and with no shoestrings in them. But I'm the only one walking around in real shoes. So now they thinking it's because I'm on TV, I'm getting special treatment and this and that. And then the little social worker, caseworker is coming over here taking messages for me to call people to get me out of here on the side. They like, oh, damn. Oh, they coming to get the da-da-da-da. Like, niggas was on my ass. I'm in that bitch like, sheesh, nigga, let me,
When you got to get the physical, right? They're like, you know when they check you
Yes.
out? That whole experience was crazy. It was a nigga that was shot up, sitting there, still tough as fuck, because he had to be, right? And I was I remember talking to him like, damn, you still got to be like it's okay, nigga. You can't even do nothing. But he had to still. He was honest. He's like, man, I can't be in here, so I don't give a fuck if you in a wheelchair. Like you should.
Yeah.
Because then what happened was some nigga that was already there kind of like egging it on. It got crazy.
Yeah, bro.
In that moment, I had to understand. Like as soon as he kind of started talking to me a little more, that made him look soft to another motherfucker.
Yeah, I saw some crazy shit.
And I'm like, oh shit, I don't want to get this nigga in trouble because I'm trying to like understand, like, no, it's okay. Like, you know, it's so crazy, man. Because I knew I was getting out. Mm-hmm. A lot of niggas be lying. They be sitting there, shit, I took the time. I ain't want to.
I took the time.
No, you didn't, nigga. Ain't nobody taking the time. You couldn't get out this motherfucker. I'm leaving. And you know what? They'll get you in there fast as fuck. Getting out there, bitch.
Man.
Right.
It's almost 24 hours.
It is.
And that's even crazier because you in the get out nigga jail, right?
Yeah.
It's a whole other section of jail you got to go through. Was a gang of you motherfuckers in the cell, all getting out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you and that motherfucker.
And then when you actually get out the gate, all the Latin Kings waiting on you with that damn, with that cashier's check that you got in your pocket if you had any money on you.
Nigga.
It's like they do it on purpose.
Oh,
They
man.
set it up for you to go right back in jail. They let you out of jail in the middle of a gang neighborhood with no name cashier's check attached to it. It's just a cashier's check with no name on it. Wow. So the gang members just sit out there and wait for people to get out and rob them. Take that cashier's
Well, that's
check.
why you got like my brother Matt was locked up for me. So he came with my friends to come get me. That's how I got out of that shit. And I went basically straight to the airport from there and went back to work.
Yeah,
right.
But nigga was in jail. It was like I ain't gonna make it to the rice room on Monday. But I see y'all. They're like, what happened? Like, motherfucker, I was in jail
Crazy, bro.
for 3 days. That was the craziest shit I've ever fucking experienced. And it like, you start to see how like you hear that these prisons and jails get all this fucking money. The living in there is terrible. Fucking roof was leaking and shit. Nothing was really clean. It was fucked up. It was, and it's all everybody's crowded into this fucking one place. It was weird. At one point, it was so many different sections of things going on. You had a church over there. You had like, what the fuck is going on? This shit looked insane. But it was, man, you go on that shit for 3 days, you like, nigga, I don't ever want to experience this shit again.
Dang, man.
Like how you said, he's like, fuck it. This is what I like. After that, I was like, you know something?
That's what it took for me. It was. I promise you, when they put me on the back of the, cause I got, they arrested me in Forest Park, so I had to get extradited to Cook County, right? So what happened was they put me on that paddy wagon, and they chained me wrist and ankle to a complete stranger and threw us on the back of that paddy wagon and threw that thing over our waist like we riding a roller coaster and drove my ass to 26 and Cal. And it was in that moment, chained to this stranger, I was like, nigga, I was just doing scenes with Angela Bassett on the Tyler Perry set like a few months ago. What are you doing? Like in real life, what are you doing? You about to fumble the bag. Like, what are you doing?
Man.
And that's when it clicked for me, and I was like, you know what, I choose this. I'm finna try to do this shit 100% and see what happens.
So what was the next big thing after, like, especially even after that? Like, what was the next thing after that where you like, okay, shit is fucking flowing?
It was, because I was always the one-off. I called myself that. I was always the one-off dude. Like, I just get
Empire.
a couple cool guest stars, be like, I got 1 episode, 2 episodes, and I'm off. It was always like that. So for me, Empire was that.
Yeah.
Because I originally got cast as Hakeem on Empire. I got cast.
Shit.
What?
Yeah, I originally was up for that, bro. So what happened, the story behind that was it wasn't always Terrence Howard. It was Wesley Snipes first. It was Taraji and Wesley Snipes, and this was what would have been Wesley's first role when he got out of prison.
Wow.
That was going to be his coming out job after he got out of prison, right?
To play Lucius Lyon.
To play Lucius Lyon. It was Wesley Snipes. That's why I could have
He's gonna be
been
the
one of the
son.
sons.
But when they had light skinned daddy, they was like, no.
2 weeks before filming, Taraji says, I'm not doing it unless it's Terrence Howard.
What?
But Fox didn't think that they could get Terrence Howard to take the pay cut because it's Taraji's show. So that's when all that bullshit. I know you remember when Monique was coming out saying Lee Daniels called her up, said he had a job, and he never called back, and they was beefing.
Yeah.
It was because he was thinking Taraji was gonna maybe walk if they couldn't get Terrence, so he needed a backup because he had to show Fox a pilot. He had a deadline, so he called Monique because they had just done Precious, like, yo, keep your phone on. I might have something for you because if this don't work out, but Terrence Howard ended up saying yes. And then he probably never called Monique back. I don't know. But he probably never did, and she felt slighted or something. And then they recast the sons. And then Charlie Mack gets a whiff of that because, Charlie Mack was managing Yaz at the time, and he plugged. So Charlie Mack gets a whiff of that, flies Yaz, who plays Hakeem, from Philly to Chicago, never acted a day in his life. He walks right in the room. It's Terrence Howard, it's Taraji, it's Lee Daniels, and they hand him a script, and he booked it. And then Lee Daniels was like, yo, you going to be this character. You going to be like the Jay-Z on the label, and he's trying to take over, but you the older head, and he trying to come for your throne, and blase blah, and blase blah. And then I ended up doing 1-2 episodes.
Yeah, fofo.
I was like, but he told me a whole, like, little, But that's when it clicked. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm finna do this Empire shit. It's going to click. And then it was like, all right, cool, one off. Then I booked a couple pilots. But then that's when I learned, all right, about pilots got a test. And they got to get picked up. And then they didn't get picked up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Then I'm like, damn. Then I'm like, okay, I get a pilot straight to series. 10 series straight to series order. Then we shoot the pilot. and then that still gets canceled. I'm like, Jesus Christ. So
Man.
for me, I think it was Ballers.
Yeah.
All the other shit was just cool. And when I got Ballers, and I still wasn't a series regular, I was a recurring guest star, but that's when it hit for me.
You know what's interesting? I always tell people, especially actors in this business, you know, because like, yeah, I have friends that like, they be fucked up if a pilot don't get picked up and shit like that. I feel like you always just got to know what your next shit is. Because you can't, you don't know.
Right.
You know, and so like if you don't, I've never been married to any of my projects. Even my own show, it's like, all right, cool. If it happens to keep going, cool, I'll do another one. You know, it's like as long as you don't like look at that, because just honestly, if it sounds like you do that, you got to soak in, just learn something from every fucking project.
Yeah, exactly.
So by the time you get to the other shit, you're like, oh, I learned something new. That's what it is. Because Ballers ended up being a really good show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was the best thing for me. Like, even though it wasn't necessarily all about being a series regular versus a guest star or co-star, it was just more about the FaceTime and the visibility and just the staple that HBO was, like how serious people take HBO. Like that's like there's HBO and then there's everybody else trying to compete with HBO for real in real life. So I looked at that as that opportunity. It's like, all right, cool. Like, and then at the time, The Rock was the biggest movie star in the world. Mm-hmm. So it's like, all right, end of the day, you on HBO with the biggest movie star in the world for 3 years. Show them what you can do. And if you don't, that's on you, bro. You can't blame nobody else. It ain't the agent fault. Right. It ain't LA. LA's not fake. It ain't.
Niggas love to say that shit when they on book shit.
Yeah, bro. It ain't because, man, damn, such and such working on that, man. He could have called me. Like, it ain't that. It's your fault.
You know what's funny? Man, I don't know if I shit. I don't care.
Okay, here we go.
I get a call out the blue. Maybe it was like 3 or 4 weeks ago. I don't even know. I don't even remember when we exchanged numbers. Y'all remember Spoken Reasons?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just get together.
I remember looking at one of his posts one day, and it's so weird how your mind works, right? I looked at one of his posts, and he was just talking about some Hollywood shit or whatever. You know, that's why I have something, man. You know, everybody always got some shit to say.
Yeah.
And he called me up at the show love, right? He's like, you know, I love the way you done this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I could have everything, but I decided to do it this way. But whatever decision anybody makes. Right. And my thing is this, and I appreciate him calling me and all this other shit. But at the same time, it's like, fam, I hate hearing this excuse of, like, everybody that is having success, we did something different or extra or whatever. It's like, no, I was just good every fucking time. Like, every time I was called, I was good. I don't know anybody like the rest of you motherfuckers.
Right. Exactly.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we all came from, like,
exactly.
Most black actors all come from the mud. It's only a few. And then some of the cats that do have parents that do, it's even harder for them sometimes. So, like, it's just hard. And, like, so I'm like, why do y'all always think it's something different a motherfucker than did? Like, nigga, nah.
Yeah.
And to stay consistent, it's like, oh, that's what. I don't know what. Honestly, some stories I hear, like, I don't know. I was there, nigga, but I don't know if that happened. I wouldn't pay no attention to that weird shit if it did happen, or they to do that shit in front of me. So it's just interesting. So I'm glad that the fact that you just look at it as hard fucking work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bro, because that's what it is. It's like some shit gonna work, some shit ain't gonna work. And even with Power now, like I'm fully prepared every time I open one of them scripts to look in the back and Janard is dead. I don't give a damn how many times a showrunner, a creator, a writer, a producer tells me I'm great or fan favorite or breakout star. I don't like, cool. Next script, Janard probably dead, and I play it that way.
That's what's great about those type of shows. I've been thinking about this. The Wire, if they was on bullshit, Idris Elba would have never died.
Right.
His character would have just stayed there. Like, if we based it off but they wrote it based off what they thought was truth.
Yep.
And shit, motherfuckers get murdered all the time.
Yep.
Even your favorite characters.
Exactly.
You know, so I love the fact that you think like that shit. And just like, you're part of this universe of Power. Like, how did that happen? Did you have to audition for Power?
Oh, hell yeah.
Talk about it. I
auditioned a bunch of times. I auditioned for every Power, from the original and every spinoff, multiple characters.
Damn.
Like, and didn't get none of them. And then I finally got that audition for Force, and I got lucky enough, and I got that one. But I think I told that story before. I don't know if I ever told you, though, but I was in a club in Dallas. I had my audition. I was testing. I had to test for Raising Kanan on Monday, and this was a Friday night in Dallas, and 50 in town hosting at a club. So I go to that club because I know the owner, and I tell the owner, hey, give me a section right next to 50's. Right next to his or whatever, and I'm gonna pay for bottle service. I never get bottle service in my life because I'm just cheap, and that's just how I am. I don't do it. And this night I said I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get bottle service, cool, because 50 here, and I'm gonna just make a play, try to holler at him, let him know I'm about to test for Raising Kanan for his show, woo woo. Cool. I do that. I set it up. I'm like, look, I don't care if 50 don't walk in at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Do not bring out them bottles until him and his team are here to see it with their own eyes. I'm like, because if he got a cameraman, if he a good cameraman, which he should be, if he with 50, they gonna notice this random nigga with my client's liquor getting sent to his section that we had nothing to do with. Who is this? I should get this on camera. It'll look good for my client.
Right.
And from that, I'm going to get one eye contact look. That's enough for me to walk down there, talk to him, played it all in my head. I'm like, that's what I'm going to do.
What a director.
So I ordered 3 bottles. Got the look, got the camera look, got the head nod, got the and then I said, went down there. I said, okay, cool. I talked to him like, yo, what up, Faf? I'm about to audition for Kanan. I'm testing on Monday when I get back to LA. Woo woo. He like, oh yeah, word. No, you look kind of familiar. Yeah. Hey, Renee, get his info. Talk to Renee. And Renee was like his homie, and he run G-Unit Films with him. And I just got Renee's number, and then I would just follow up with him. This was in 2019. Years and years go by. I would just hit him up every couple months, 3-4 months. Yo, hope all is well. Just checking in. Never asked him for shit. Yo, tapping in. Hope you good, my G. I see y'all killing it. BMF. That shit was raw last night. Da-da-da. Whoop. I'm auditioning for this. I'm auditioning for that. Whoop. And then when I got that Force audition, I don't know why. As long as I've been acting, over 20 years, I don't think I ever done an audition and I was like, yeah, nah, that's the best audition I ever done in my life. I've never felt like that. Like, I never felt that was the best audition I've ever done in my life. But I felt like that with that one. And I'm like, maybe I'm too close to it and I need to remove myself. So I wanted to send it out to people to see if I was being biased because I was too close to it. Because it was Power, it was in Chicago. I wanted to be a series regular. I'm like, nigga, maybe you too invested and you looking at this shit with clouded judgment and it's not as good as you think. So, bro, I never do this. I start sending out my audition tape to everybody. Like, bro, am I tripping? Am I tripping? Am I tripping? And everybody said the same thing. And like, nigga, Jesus Christ, nigga, wait a minute. What the fuck? If you don't get this, they're tripping. I was like, right? I was like, bro, so I'm not tripping, right? I'm not tripping. All right, cool, I'm not tripping. So then I sent it to Renee. I was like, bet. Sent it to him. And I done had this man number since 2019. For the first time in 2.5 years, he called my phone. I'm like, yo, what's up? He like, yo, bro. I'm like, what's up? He like, man, my nigga, that tape you just sent me? Fire, my G. I say, oh, word, thank you, bro. He was like, oh, so I must didn't tell you. And I'm like, what? Tell me what? What's up? He was like, oh, so I didn't tell you. No, you New York niggas so overly animated. Oh, so no. So I must didn't tell you. I'm like, bro, what? Nigga, tell me what? He was like, dog, Joseph Secor, that's like my brother, man. I managed Joe. That's my brother. I said, nigga, no. You failed to mention that in the 2.5 years I've known you. You have failed to mention that shit one time. He was like, well, yeah, no, my G, you know what I mean? I sent him your tape, my G, and he loved it. He just sent it to Fifth. He was like, Fifth just sent it to Courtney. He's like, hey, the showrunner about to call you, my G. They want to give you some notes or some shit. I don't know nothing about that shit. I don't know what none of that means. Gonna give you some notes, whatever. But the showrunner about to call you, my G. And I was like, all right. And then in real life, I called my agent like, apparently the showrunner is about to call me. So be on the lookout. And the showrunner called me and gave me notes. Then I retaped it with his notes. Then after the retape, I did the producer-director session on Zoom. All this is COVID, so it's Zoom. Did the director-producer session on Zoom. Then after that, did the chemistry test with Joseph on Zoom, and then I finally booked it. Took me I was auditioning since October. I ain't booked it till January. And then by the end of January, we was filming season 1.
Dang. I remember you showed me.
Yeah, I
He
sent
showed
him
me
a
in
tape.
person. No, you showed me in
Damn,
person.
Oh yeah.
I was like, you said everybody the tape like
Yeah,
He said, God damn, nigga.
I came to it. I went to your crib
Oh,
to
yeah.
do the Wayne's quick picks. And he
Yeah.
was like, yo, let me show you this. And I
Right.
looked.
Nigga,
I'm
it
like,
sound like you remember the scene in Paid in Full with Cameron
Paid in Full, yes, Cameron.
show that video and
Yeah,
shit.
like you didn't even see when I put
Yeah,
my.
yeah, he got the robe on. Like, yo, look at this. Like, that's
Yeah.
what makes me feel like you watched this.
Yeah,
You showed
nah,
everybody.
for
Take, yo,
real.
check this out. There you go. Look at
Nah, legit. I had niggas
look at that
pulling
tear,
up,
nigga.
bro.
Look
Yeah.
at that tear, nigga.
I had to, bro, because I
That's
felt like
crazy.
I was delusional, bro.
Nah,
and
that's-
I'm like, bro, I can't be that delusional. I gotta ask people, one, who don't personally don't give a fuck.
yeah.
I need people who give a fuck, people who don't, people in the middle. I even asked other people who were up for the same role.
Oh, yeah, you told me. You
and
told
they
me.
even
yeah.
told me like, oh yeah, nigga, nah, this is yours.
Yeah.
And they auditioning for the shit too.
Same role.
He was like, nigga, I don't even want to send my tape in. There's no point.
That's funny. I think it's so fun to listen to like different people's journeys and just even how they see shit. Because I remember like when when we was doing reshoots for Get Out, we shot the ending. He sent me the movie finally, and I remember closing the laptop. Like, yeah, this movie good, right? Or am I just saying it because I'm in it?
In it,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
But I couldn't show nobody else. So it was just me.
Exactly.
It's in my head for months. Like,
Right.
And then like when the trailer came out, people fucked with it. I'm like, oh, they ain't even seen the rest of this shit.
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm not crazy. Like this
Right.
ain't just me thinking. I literally closed that shit. Was like, God damn, that's a good ass movie.
Are we on? Like, mama,
But
did
but
we
but,
make it?
but I couldn't even get to that part yet. It was just more or less like, but is it just good because I'm in it?
Yeah.
I don't fucking know. I
Yeah.
have no idea.
Yeah.
And so those are beautiful moments when you do have people you can show that shit to, and they give you because sometimes you be sitting there that shit like
Can't show it, yeah.
Yeah.
let's see what happens, shit. And so like even with that, right? Because I love the show, you know what I'm saying? Like I think I'm just a big fan of like the whole Power universe. I'm not even just 50, like what he's doing over there at Stars now. Wherever the fuck he gonna do that shit at, because I don't know where the fuck he going with everything. But I like,
Yeah, he signed that Fox deal, that non-exclusive Fox deal like
dude,
that.
he's fucking killing it. But
Yeah.
I like, because now I'm interested now too even more to see how everything is gonna tie back in at some point, the universes. Is it starting to do that with? I mean, you can't really tell me, but like with the next season, is it starting to do? Because I feel like with Ghost and you guys show like it's gonna some type of way it's gonna have to.
I feel like, well, naturally, it would be the only two shows in the universe that could. Because the other ones are like period piece.
Right,
You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
So BMF is its own entity. It ain't really even a Power universe. And then Raising Kanan is a period piece, the prequel. So none of us could pop up in there unless it could only work with us or Ghost. And I think, Joseph, Tommy was in season 1 of Ghost. Or was it 2? He was in one of them. He was in one of those seasons ago. So he may pop back in there.
Well, let's say that he can pop. He can't. That actor can't pop up, but that character at some point got to pop up in Raising Kanan.
Who?
Joseph.
Oh yeah, Tommy. Yeah,
Tommy's got to pop up.
Yeah,
at
but
some
see,
point.
I honestly, with that though, I think by the time the Tommy character would be around, the show should be over. Unless they speed it up for that purpose.
I don't think so, because I do see now we talking like nerds of the shit.
Yeah.
But it is one of those things like because they talk about how young they were when they fucking met.
Yeah. They was in high school? Or
They never really said it. And so
Right.
which is so interesting about an original entity. They could do what the fuck they want
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what makes Star Wars so fucking great is because George Lucas made this shit up. It wasn't based off no true shit. It was just some shit he made up. So they've been able to go anywhere they fucking want to. Like any type of they making up shit and then we just follow. Hey, I guess that's what happened at the beginning. Like we don't fucking know. They just making that shit. I think they can do. That's what makes this fucking interesting what 50 is doing, because we never seen that with like. I guess once again I don't know if I only seen this with George Lucas and then now with the Rocky franchise and the way with Creed, but there's only television series outside of what Norman Lear was doing with sitcoms
Yeah, shout
And
out
now,
to
well,
Norman Lear.
well, also with Law and Order, I guess Law and Order kind of did it in a way.
That's why I tell 50 all the time. I say, you the black Dick Wolf, G. That's what I tell him. I'm like, bro, you the black, you the,
Man,
you
I mean,
the Dick
and-
Wolf
and-
for the niggas.
And you know what's funny?
He the what?
He really, no, he is.
I know the way he said it though.
But he is.
He is.
That's a great way to put it because he is. And you know what's interesting? I always look at how they treat our hip hop legends and stars when they do other shit and they try to downplay it because they're able to do other shit.
Right.
Because he is doing what Dick Wolf has done. Like he's literally doing what normal. Like he's doing what these great producers have done. They on this plateau of shit, but they still try to about well 50. And then 50 get attacked by other niggas. Or Rick Ross got some weird shit to say. It's like, come on, fam, you tripping? Is it like how involved is 50 and everything?
Oh, he involved. He involved. Like I don't think he like writing or nothing like that, but he's involved. Like he cares. Like he very much so cares. Like bro, he thinking and moving and shaking. Like all right, this is how we need to do the rollout. Now they playing. Like if we don't do it like this, then this is what's gonna happen. It's gonna drive the numbers this way, or the numbers gonna go this way. We need this show to be filming, so by the time they're done, y'all could have that as the lead in to da 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 da. Like he very much so involved in like the activations and all of the big premieres, making them like it's like Hollywood premieres or festivals. He throw our premieres like it's events. He be having musical guests. Nigga, it be fucking the baby and Lil Baby performing at our premiere for one episode.
The pandemic one, y'all was in bubbles, right? You had your family. How was that?
Yeah, that was actually cool. At first, I didn't think it was gonna be, but he found a way to make the pandemic when they was like own it. Like now we even doing this and we ain't tripping. But then like they was talking about just canceling the premiere period for the first season. Fifth was like, yeah, no. He got built us like little glass cubicle tents, like the size of houses, with tables in there, flat screen TVs and everything, so our family and our people could chill in there, fit up to 7-8 people, and had them lined up like it was a damn trailer park. Had like 30 of them lined up on a rooftop in New York.
Wow.
Like that ain't happening. If it was just a network, they would have just canceled it.
Do you get a lot of people that give you shit about your character?
Oh yeah.
Because like,
All the time.
luckily we cool.
Like, luckily, we
But I hate that nigga.
yeah.
You hate Janard?
Man, dude, like, it's like, dude.
Do you want this? Do you want this? Can I say my piece? I know you don't like.
Why you
don't like
chasing
it,
why you chasing your power? Like he's
My
chasing
brother?
power too much. He just want power so
You think
bad.
so?
Yeah, well, because all you gotta do is combine forces with your brother.
Right.
Like, why you mad that he back and you want to do some different shit? It just don't
Okay.
make fucking sense to me.
Great. Now
Here we
you want
go.
my answer?
Here we go.
Go ahead.
Because people ask me all the time, like you said, so I have my retort and my rebuttal ready.
You gotta answer me as you too tired to it. Like, cause I fucks with you and I've separated it.
Yeah. So
But okay.
okay. So
What's
what
the
I'm gonna
answer?
tell you is this. I'm gonna say like this. All right. I'm gonna say Janard he want power too much. I'm gonna say this, and there's no pun intended with that. I'm gonna say that. Imagine a child, right? A little boy, he 11 years old, 10 years old, and he just wants to hear his father say, I'm proud of you, son. He don't give a shit that you bought him the new Jordans, that he got the new PlayStation, that you are rich and you buy him. I just want to hear niggas say, I'm proud of you. Just say it, right?
But he didn't. Wait,
Hold on, listen to me. Hear me out. Right? That's what I feel Janard wants.
He never said that though.
No.
What did he said?
No,
he
so
said
not
something
only
close
listen,
to it.
Pete, I just want my brother to say, damn, nigga, you know what? I've been gone 15 years. Like, and imagine that. Times change in 15 years. And whatever organization he had, however much of the man he was on the streets in probably 1992 is not the level that I've taken it to now, my nigga. So that gap, and if you add Janard's age into it, Janard's probably only 33, which means that I've damn near known life without you longer than I've known with you. So now we talking about that, and now you add millions of dollars, nigga. I damn near don't even know you, and now you talking about millions of dollars, nigga. Not only I damn near kill you. Hold on, Pete. All I wanted was my brother to come home from jail, acknowledge the fact that I did this for him, say great job, I'm proud of you. And then, hey, let's do it together. Let's be partners now. Not, hey, I'm back, good looking, step to the side, I got this now. Fuck you. And not only did he not even say I'm sorry or not only say I'm proud of you and didn't even want to do it as partners, he wanted to make me his do-boy. And now you running around with a new white nigga that don't nobody know and treating him like a partner instead of your own brother? I'll kill both you niggas.
I get how you had to give the character to make
See what I'm
sense
saying?
to make sense of that.
Do you get what I'm saying? I kill
get it.
both you niggas.
But as a fan, here we go.
He's we don't even know him and he's white.
Here we
he's
here we
white.
go.
We don't-
Here
he's white.
Here we go. This is from the outside looking in. Because you're right. If he was sitting there, he probably would say all this shit to me. But the thing about it, and this is so interesting, I think this is almost really deep in a way of how black men don't communicate. Like, it's like when you watch that show, them two, like, basically they almost raised themselves. Mm-hmm. Both of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, both of them. Which, that's another thing. They don't realize how much they are alike. First of all. This nigga been in jail.
Right.
So, to ask for him to come out and be like, hey, man, thank you so much. His whole mindset in jail had to kind of keep his tough, I'm running shit persona to survive that motherfucker. We just talked about going to county.
Yeah.
Now, like, man, I can't wait to tell my brother how proud he is. Yeah, I ain't thinking about that shit.
He ain't thinking about that
Shit at all. He's actually getting through those days almost expecting to go right back into what he was into. That has to be his mindset to survive in that motherfucker. What we experiencing in that show is you're literally watching two different people who went through the same exact shit, but because there's no middle person to fucking soften that shit up. Because now all you got is just little niggas on both sides egging shit on.
Yeah, egging shit on from both sides.
Every street nigga in the power movies are all under some emotional distress. You feel like everybody from the power shows need therapy.
They all need therapy.
Oh, yeah,
They all need fucking
Janard
therapy.
definitely need therapy.
But
definitely.
I mean, like everybody, even like when you think about Tommy's character and what his mom has done, and then you meet this, like it's so much personal heart, even with the family. What's the white powerful family?
The Flynns.
The Flynns.
Yeah.
It's literally all.
Yeah.
Everybody want to hear that somebody think they proud of them.
Yeah.
Every last one of these people.
And Ghost.
And nobody gets it.
Nobody
Nobody
gets
gets it.
And nobody
Everybody's
gets
fucked up.
Yeah, and that's true. I ain't never
But
looked at it
that's
from that
also
angle.
the
We all
streets.
therapy.
That's the streets.
That's
Yeah,
the
you're
street.
right.
in general.
And the Flynns are so interesting because we actually do have a family structure. The dad, they had a mom at one, like that was there, and they still gonna hear this shit from this nigga
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
with
And
the
it-
structure, and he want to give it to him.
Yeah, and for Janard, it's like, all right, cool. I feel like, all right, cool. You ain't gonna say you proud. You ain't gonna say thank you. Good job. Keep up the good work. Nothing.
Will that be good enough?
At least, let's be partners, nigga. Cool.
You know
But
what?
no, you want to run
It's-
around
it's-
with this new dude,
It's
Tommy.
the big brother, little brother shit, though.
Yeah.
It truly is. He didn't see you. You gotta realize he didn't see you actually do it.
Right.
In his mind, if you think about it on some cocky shit, he probably like, I set this shit up so well.
That you ain't really
You
even have to
just,
do nothing.
just all you had to do was just.
I could have left this to anybody. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, it's fucked up, but
No,
it's like
it's okay.
it's so
He'll
what
find out. He'll find out.
But that's one of those things I do. Out of all the characters, I wish those two would figure out a way to get along. I hate seeing that shit. I don't give a fuck what the Flynns. I don't give a fuck about that shit.
Yeah.
Cause they still got legacy set up for everybody. They just being a bunch of spoiled ass fucking kids
Right.
with a crazy ass racist daddy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean.
And so, like, you know, it's really I love the show for that. Actually, that's what's different from the other shows. This one to me has a little more emotion into it that they talk about, they dive into and shit.
Yeah.
I think
that's
that's what made
love.
Tommy's character is fascinating because Tommy was the only one, even more than Ghost, that felt bad about some of this shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ghost sometimes feel like he ain't give a fuck. Nigga grabbed his son like, little nigga, I'll kill you. You woke that nigga up like, damn. And you saw Ghost.
Nap time over, nigga.
You didn't see the dad. You saw Ghost.
Yeah.
You like Tariq, nigga? I mean, it's really interesting. I love the whole power universe of this shit, man.
Yeah.
And like, you know, I can't wait for next season, to be honest with you.
Yeah, this
'Cause
next season's gonna be crazy.
Chicago's a crazy place to do gangster shit. I think they're doing a good job of displaying how many places that gangster shit is in Chicago. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, this shit crazy.
Oh God. I think we're gonna do good though. This season 2, We're gonna tap in a lot deeper. We gonna introduce the Mexican cartel, so we're gonna take it there. This season we focusing on that. Like it's gonna be dope. It's
So
gonna be
y'all
dope.
gotta come together.
We'll
see.
We'll see, man. I don't know, bro. It's Janard going through some shit this season. You know already, because I done told you off camera, but I'm going through some shit this season. So it's a redemption.
Dude, Janard get a girlfriend or something like shit.
He was trying to
Take his
get a
energy
girl.
out of. That nigga just be focused on work. Like nigga,
Nah, work too damn
You ain't got
hard.
no baby mama. Nothing.
Janard might have a little love interest this season.
Okay.
I got a little love interest this season.
No, man. All right.
It's gonna be cool.
I still don't trust the girl that your brother with.
Oh. Yeah, no, because it turned out that I be getting the seasons confused.
Yeah, don't say shit.
It turned out that she was she was a reporter. Remember?
Yeah, but I still think it's deeper than that.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
I would. Look, you know what's funny? I know Courtney too, and I remember texting her maybe with the original series, and just because I used to watch the after show and like her talk
for sure.
about the room, like what that writer's room is. Because I'm always like, though, that got to be a crazy fucking room.
Gotta be.
Where like y'all just fucking the scenarios and shit, and just even the debates. Because great thing about if you do got a good writer's room, there's a lot of debates. It's a lot, especially when you talk about couple shit and what this shit go like. It'd be shit that Tasha would do. And go. There was some crazy shit. There would have to be some fucking heated arguments.
Yeah, bro. I already know that writer's room was
Dude,
insane.
It still is for all of it. All the shows it has to be because it's just even with Raising Kanan, it's like, where do you go with this fucking story? Like, and once it gets its original property, you can do whatever the fuck you want to. It just has to match some of this shit from the original show, but the prequel could be whatever the fuck. I mean,
because we don't know that story. So yeah, you're right. They got the ability to make it whatever they want.
Make it whatever the fuck they want. Like,
it's luxury.
That's the beauty in it.
Dude, it's fucking.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just one of the most brilliant things. I don't know, man. It's like I was reading something recently, and this ain't got shit to do with power, but it goes back to Creed. But they bring about Clubber Lang. I'm like, damn, that backstory of Mr. T's character. And if he did have some little successor, he's trained to like take this motherfucker out. Gotta be fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Mr. T from the crib. Shout out to
Mr. T. First of all, his story is fucking insane.
Yeah.
Like Sylvester Stallone saw him at a club. Mr. T was looking like Mr. T as a bouncer. Just some nigga with a chain on that motherfucking mohawk. Like, who the fuck is this nigga? And he was talking to him. Had him come in. That was his first movie, Rocky III. He never acted in anything.
That's wild.
And that motherfucker played the shit. Like, that was one of the most believable, crazy niggas. I'm a Rocky fan. I love the movies. If you watch Rocky III enough, you actually be like, I fuck with Clubber Lang. I get it. You know what I mean? Like, he just wanted to be the best nigga. So I want you, my boy. I mean, if you watch that scene in Rocky III, it's a random nigga yelling out some shit that I don't think he knew it was a movie. He was egging on Mr. T, like, yeah, tell him. I'm like, what the fuck? Nigga, do you know this a movie? It felt like they couldn't edit that shit out. Because the nigga was just yelling. I don't think I swear to God, I think the nigga thought it was a real press conference. Because that's when they unveiled that statue that sits in Philadelphia like it's a real boxer. That's the scene. So it probably was a few people there like, oh, wait, this ain't real? Oh, shit. I thought this was really the ceremony. Like, and so, like, man, he's like, hold you, bad boy. And bad boy, he was snapping until he started talking to the agent. Look here, woman. Woman. Yeah, you come to my apartment tonight. And first of all, the nigga even have a house, right? And this nigga Rocky got a big ass mansion. Like, yeah, come to my apartment tonight. That's shit what a real man can do. And Rocky loses, come on, let's do it right now. And it was kind of crazy. But that's another Chicago nigga though. It's just like Chicago niggas. We wild as far as like breaking into shit and just being big at it.
Yeah. That opportunity, man.
Man, dude, the nigga, that was his first goddamn movie.
Yeah.
Ever.
Ever.
He was just at a club and he just started talking to him like, yeah, no, I've been working at the club. Hey, would you like to be in the movie or something? I don't know. What you gonna pay me, fool? What you gonna pay me, fool? And this nigga became Mr. T with 15 chains on, a mohawk. He had his own cereal. He had a fucking Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah.
That was one of the most famous niggas ever.
He cleaned up, bro.
Yeah.
And was a good dude doing it. He was like, everybody was scared of him. He was like, man, respect your mama. I was like, all right, shit. We can talk back to your mama.
No, you stupid.
You got a whole song about that shit. About your mama. It's a weird ass rap song. Doesn't make fucking sense.
OG.
It's the goddamn T. Now, what from? I mean, you on Power now. Like, what else are you looking to do, man? Like, what do you want to do more films? Either specific films you want to do? Like, what do you see your trajectory for next? What you want to do?
Definitely films, man. I want to be a movie star, bro. Like, TV is cool. You know, the saying that I've always told myself is movies make you famous, TV make you rich. You know? And that's what people been telling me that coming up in the game for a long time. And cool, I want to do films and the things that people can really like. Because I feel like TV's so niche. It's like a very niche market. Like, you either like this show or you don't. You a fan of this show or you not. So I feel like it leaves a lot of unseen eyes on performances sometimes. But I feel like movies transcend a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a little bit more global. You got the opportunity to have more eyes on you from the jump, I think, with the whole studio behind you as far as the movie, because they kind of cater movies more to a wider audience than they do specific TV shows. It's just like, this could be a football show. This could be a gangster show. This could be a cop show. You know, it's niche. So I feel like with movies, more people can see my performance, and then I can just keep booking like that. But I also want to direct and write, bro. Like, I create and produce. Like, I got my production company, 630 Entertainment. That's my production company. And I'm working on, like, some foundations and, like, nonprofits and shit that I'm trying to do. Like, I got this whole thing with one of my pilots that I wrote that I'm just turning into a thing. Like, it's going to be a thing. Like, I'm going to make this shit. In my head, I'm going to make this shit like how everybody knows they want to go to like that Rock Nation brunch or they want to be at that macro party during the Oscars. Like, yeah, my shit, I got Blackters. That's the name of the pilot that I wrote. And I got that word. I trademarked the word and I got the all of that shit. That's me. So, like, I want, like, I'm going to have like a foundation like the Blackters is like coalition, like a whole thing of just like black entrepreneurials and entertainers and creatives and shit like that. And I want all type of things to happen. I'm trying to really shake the shit up, bro. I want like the Blackters Fund for, like I talked about, how me and Mike B really the only ones who have worked since Hardball. Like, if things like the Blackters Fund were in place, I could have actors like me and you who are doing better than them. We keep more black actors acting as opposed to real life taking over and they decide, oh, I can't do this because I got to go do this, or I had 3 kids and I got to put food on the table today, so I can't go to this audition. Nah, the Blackters Fund is taking money out of some of our checks, or we donating portions of our checks to this fund. Now you need your rent paid, send us your thing. We'll talk to your leasing office.
That's interesting.
We'll pay your rent for it. I ain't going to just blindly send you a $5,000 check.
Well, that's supposed to be what the SAG shit is. Right? It's one of the parts of SAG or whatever the part that is. But if you don't know, they don't really talk about it.
They don't talk about that. Like, yeah, we'll send you a stipend to get you some groceries, bro. Like, if you don't meet that tier, because I remember at one point in time I would look at that tier list for health insurance and be like, bro, I'm not finna make that this year to qualify for that shit. Like, so let's lower the tier so more actors and people of color can qualify for shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, you know, most people don't talk about that. Like, it's so interesting, right? Like, with me, I'll give you a perfect example with me. Sometimes I don't even know what that is.
Right.
Just because, like, from when I came in here, it was just already what it is. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, until like the pandemic happened, and I saw some of my friends really having tough times, I'm like, damn, I ain't realize, like, no, I don't even qualify for this no more. I'm like, oh, shit, that's a thing?
Yeah, bro, there's them tiers, bro. So it's like, it need to, like, lower it. So maybe, like, instead of this amount of money per year you got to make, no, as long as you did at least 2-3 guest stars in the calendar year,
that's what it should be.
You
about.
qualify.
Yeah.
Because that's fucked up. Just because it might not have been a top of show guest star, they might have just been a guest star.
Well, they're changing the budgets on a lot of this shit too. So I think
they are.
which is why, look, we might see, you know, the writer's strike is about to happen.
Yes, I know.
And you know, I think other strikes are coming because there's starting to be a lot of conversations about things. And I'm just telling somebody this: it's tough when you in all these different guilds, right? And it's like, you're the producers guild, you're in this guild. And it's like, damn, they're having meetings to help these motherfuckers. But I'm a part of that shit too. It's just fucking scary because I think the writers, for instance, you know, all of us knew this was coming because they still never compensated for the streaming. They're not being honest about these streaming numbers.
Yeah, no, they're not.
And so because of that shit, it's like, it's just...
But they'll never be honest about it.
Well,
because that's
they
like,
better figure out something. That is truly what this strike
What this
is
shit
about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
This one writer wrote a movie. Residuals and pay wasn't good. He saw Netflix pick that movie up and had it on the platform, and it was killing it on Netflix. He thought he would see a difference in them residual checks when he went to the mailbox, and he said, "I saw no difference."
And so imagine him.
And he went up.
Imagine him times 400.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Because that's what's happening. If it was just one, no, it's happening to, and once again, it's tough, especially if you're in all parts of that shit, right? And it's like, damn, man. Like, but the strike has to happen. Like, it has to happen.
Yeah.
Unless they agree to something beforehand. But it's like,
Quick.
These conversations have been happening for the last few years. Like, the first time the strike happened, that people saw this coming. They just downplayed that shit. And then the pandemic happened.
When was the last strike?
It was right before that
It's
shit.
about
A couple
7
years
years ago.
Yeah, a couple years before that.
Okay.
But it was always, but it wasn't like a big agreement neither. Because when I had my show, it was another strike after. It wasn't even long, but it was long enough. And that's when I had to have a really conversation with my agents that the way they were packaging things and not telling you certain shit. And motherfuckers was getting points from shit and you didn't even know that shit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's so much underhanded shit going on. And so I think now this is the time where people are speaking up like, wait a minute, motherfucker,
Yeah.
you did what?
Right.
Without
Yeah.
asking me?
Exactly, bro, and that's how it be. And I get why the writers are striking. It's just, somebody is gonna be a bystander of the strike. If the directors would have strike, the actors would have strike, somebody we gonna all
But it
be
has
the
to happen,
bystanders.
though.
It
But
has to happen
happen.
because what they asking for is fair. Like they just feel like there's no way that mid-level writers on a TV show they should be able to make a living just by doing that and that alone.
Shit,
And
mid-level, high level,
should
low
be able
level,
to.
any fucking level. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of stuff has to change, and that's why even with this strike, it's not just what we reading that's the demands of things. Like even some of the hiring process of this. I remember hiring writers for a show and shit like that, and this weird ass ranking system that's been
Right.
since I don't know when they started doing that shit. And it doesn't make fucking sense. If I want these writers for my show, it's my show, that's who I want to hire.
Right.
You're gonna tell me, well, they're not because of what the fuck you talking about? This nigga ain't never wrote for a black show.
Right.
A black character, so I should trust that shit just
Right.
because of what they're.
Yeah.
Or you gave them a deal, and now I gotta force it. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Right. You gave them that overall.
Yeah,
now
and
you
so,
got
so
it.
I gotta hire this. Why I gotta hire him?
We promised them a project in the fall.
Right.
Because now you in this room with some weird motherfucker that don't know shit about the west side of Chicago.
project.
But that's what I'm saying. But it is very, I think it's important. And look, I think it's coming for. I think SAG is going to have to do it too. Because once again, these new deals they're giving us, especially for these movies, it's just tricky now, man. First it was explained that now everything is pretty much going to go streaming, but now the box office is back.
Yeah, box office is back.
It's coming back.
It is.
And then now it's just weird because at one time they were just throwing shit on streamers and didn't tell nobody.
Yeah. And now with box office coming back, it's opening up those movies. Like a lot of these movies, I think won't get made that was getting made in the pandemic. If box office comes back, because you can make those A-list celebrities or non-big action movies and put them on Netflix and give it 3 months, hope it catch on, or make a TV show, hope it catch on, but not in the movie theater.
Nobody want to hope anymore.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, it's they're actually getting tighter about the budgets. They're tighter about everything. They've rushed a lot of shit. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've had to do shit where I probably had a week off from each project, and it was the same studio. I'm like, damn, y'all niggas don't give a fuck like that. Everybody just want to get their shit made, which is okay because everybody want to get their money back. But I always think about these studios and everything have made $1 kajillion for a long time. Like, y'all ain't really took no real L's. But I mean, we watch even with the superhero stuff. This a very interesting time. I think now the crowd and you're forced to do shit that's good.
Yeah.
You just can't just do some okay shit. Like, okay, let's just throw it in the theaters. No,
Yeah,
it has to
you
be
gotta
fucking
do some
good.
stuff.
Gotta
Even
be
if it's
good.
film festivals, if it don't even,
It gotta be good.
It's
I don't
gotta
give
be
a fuck
good.
if you're A-list. We're proving right now, it's not even about that. It has to be fucking good.
And if it's good,
'Cause it'll
you
catch
create it.
on.
Yeah, it'll catch on. If it's good, you're
If it's
right.
good, So I don't know. I'm excited about a lot of stuff, but at the same time, I'm also glad that people are fighting to make things better because Shit just gotta be good. I think that's why I'm proud of a lot of the black content we see so far this year. It's been some good shit.
Yeah.
It's been some good shit. And hopefully we don't get discouraged when we don't get honored like we do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And just keep making dope shit. Cause there's a lot of dope shit still coming. Oh, we gotta get you one of these movies with me, Playboy.
Come
Yes,
on.
sir.
Let's,
Yes, sir.
let's do it. One of them. Come on now. I know we talking about points. You got some points.
I got a lot of shit.
You gonna get us in one of the
I got
movies?
points.
That's crazy. Yeah, we all
I
be
can
in the.
get you in the movie. We talk about like at least a decent part. I can get you in.
Wayne, we're talking about lines.
Yeah, go ahead, walk past, Wayne. It's my boy Wayne. Let me walk past. Yeah, you get Wayne to walk past. Okay?
You'll see.
I thought you was just gonna have Wayne to crack me.
Oh,
No, I was
man.
gonna niggas just walk past. Just let him sit next to me somewhere in the scene.
That's messed up.
You said you want to be in it.
Y'all crazy. Y'all for sure.
Hey man, I'm proud of you, man. You killing this shit. I mean, also like too, real quick, like the brotherhood of this shit is like we was all at a event not too long ago, with Robin's launch,
Oh, yeah.
and man, just we talking about Chris Powell, we had the Snowfall guys. We were just hanging out, laughing. We walked to the dime from the place,
Oh, yeah, we sure did.
like
We
a
did
bunch of
walk to
teenagers.
the
Like, what the
dime,
fuck
yeah.
are we doing, man?
Like, what we doing? Like, we not on TV.
We just walking down the street to the dime,
Yeah.
laughing and shit and cackling.
Yeah.
But that's what I like about this shit. I think that's one of the things I enjoy watching all these different people rise to where they at. It's just a good group, man. That's excited for each other, celebrating each other. And even at that party, brothers was just celebrating each other, man, showing love, man. And I'm a fan. I watch every fucking thing. I watch literally.
That's how I am.
Everything.
Like, bro, I had to hit you about Poker Face. That Poker Face episode was fire. Nigga. I hit that, and I'll never hit him. I'm like, nah, wait a minute, man. This shit was good, and I didn't
was the
expect
one.
it. I was like, I didn't know what to expect with Peacock and NBC, because it's just NBC, so I'm thinking it's like
Cookie
Chicago PD, Chicago Fire type
yeah.
shit. But I'm watching it, I'm like, nah, this ain't that. This is a show. This is one of them real shows.
Man, they did that shit. Oh, it's like every episode was a movie.
Yeah,
And
that's
so,
what it
like,
was.
I never knew what the other episodes was about. They only showed me my shit, and so like, I watched the series.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, damn, it's a good ass series.
Yeah, I liked
I'm
it.
on this good ass show.
Bro, that shit was so good. I definitely hit him. I'm like, yeah, nah, you snapped. He just threw the accent on.
Oh,
everything.
shit.
That shit was hard. I was like, nah, that's good, bro. I'm like you. I watch everything, bro.
It's like, bro, you don't have to do the accent. No, I'm gonna do it because I want to, motherfucker.
It worked. It played. That was a good call.
It was a fun show to do. Like Ryan Johnson, Natasha Leon. She's so good and so dope. So I mean, you know how it is, man. Like
Yeah.
it's. I just like working with good people, man.
Yeah, for a fact. That was
We
fire.
doing what we in together. Oh well, I guess we can't say that. The cartoon.
Oh, can we say it?
I don't know.
Don't say it.
I don't think so.
No,
let's
okay,
leave it
let's
alone.
not say it then.
Oh,
But yeah, be on the lookout for an animation cartoon that
yeah.
we both participated.
We really can't say it? Okay.
I ain't seen
I don't even say it.
I haven't seen any press release.
Yeah, me either. So.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
reason to
haven't
say
said
it.
about any
Congrats
of
though,
this.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't let you say it. Let's say congrats, look, guys.
Keep doing y'all thing.
Oh damn, man, Chris, it was an honor and a pleasure having you today, man.
Love, bro. Nothing but I appreciate y'all.
Keep killing it, bro. You,
Yes, sir.
Man, you guys, you just be on the lookout. Chris is dope, man. Chicago always do it big. We've been out here taking over Hollywood. What? Anyway, this has been another great episode of Keep It Real with
Young Wayne.
our special guest, Kris Lofton.
Y'all ready?
Peace out.
Keeping it real.
That was a Headgum podcast.